Hello and welcome to Reading Tabby. I'm Tabitha, aka Tabby Tabs, and today I want to talk about some upcoming book releases that I'm really excited about. Now, I was going to film this video covering the whole last quarter of the year, but there are so many books that I'm looking forward to that I'm excited about, and the list was just getting really long. So now I'm just doing September in this video. I'm going to do it month by month. And there's still kind of a lot of books. So let's get through them. Okay, starting with September 1st. First up, we have Kiste Replay by Rachel Harrison. This is billed as a Groundhog Day with a slasher at a wedding. And I'm super intrigued by that. Or I guess Palm Springs with a slasher, because that was like Groundhog's Day at a wedding. and then now Rachel Harrison is adding a slasher aspect to it. I really enjoy the idea of that. Groundhog's Day is one of my favorite films. I watch it every single year, maybe more than once, more than twice. I really like that film a lot. So I have a feeling that I'll really like this book because this plot sounds like one that will just really intrigue me and keep me interested. Next up is Silent Shadows by Katie West, not Casey West, completely different authors here. This is Silent Shadows by Katie West, also out September 1st. This is billed as an opposites attract. Oh, I'm just going to read the first line of this because this is what sold me. Opposites attract when a sex podcaster finds herself along for the ride with a paranormal investigative group in this X-Files meets Twister rom-com. That has everything in it that I want. That sounds absolutely perfect for me. Completely up my alley, totally my vibes. I have high hopes for that. I think I'm going to save it for perhaps next Valentine's Day. I'm going to see what my TBR looks like for upcoming videos for the rest of the year. I still have to work all that out. But figuring out when I'm going to read this one because I really, really want to read this one. Or maybe September 1st, that could be out for October, and depending on the theme of our romance book club for October, or for, I should say, the end of September, because we'll pick our October theme in September. This could be really good for that if the theme is a paranormal romance, and I might end up picking it up just for that reason. September 8th has quite a few books coming out. Starting with We Already Dug the Grave by MSC Wells. I'm going to just read the first line of the description for a lot of these, and then I'll talk about them. So this is sharp objects with a dash of practical magic in this Southern Gothic thriller with cool girl edge. This is following two estranged sisters who will do anything to protect each other, even murder again. I love that idea of this. I read MSC Wells a couple years ago with This Girl's a Killer, which was like a Sex and the City meets Dexter type slasher story about a female slasher who kills for all the right reasons. And things kind of go off the rails. It actually read a bit more to me like American Psycho, but with a woman and with kind of like morals as well. So I guess a little bit of American Psycho meets Dexter. The Sex and the City aspect didn't really, she's a very fashionable woman in that story. Anyway, that does make me question whether this one will be good. I do want to give it a shot. I have the arc for it. I have high hopes, because I do love practical magic. Practical magic is one of my most favorites. I absolutely love that story. And Sharp Objects is one that I've not read. I don't think I've read any Gillian Flynn, or is it Gillian Flynn? I have no idea how to say how her name is meant to be said. I don't read any of her books, obviously. So I think that one sounds interesting though. So we'll see. Next is 'Tis the Season to Be Scary by Vicki Delaney, which looks like a really cute book. It was mostly the cover that drew me to it. It's just like a cozy romance, just a cute little cozy romance with animals, and it's set at Halloween. So I think this would be a fun one to read in the month of October. A fun romance for October. I'm gonna be like rife with samples and examples of books for my book club this month for October, I think, because I have a couple of paranormal romances on here. That's just my vibe, okay? I'm into paranormal romance. That's my favorite kind of romance, I think. Although the last couple romance books I've given 5 stars have not been paranormal romances. They've just been straight up romances and a little bit of a fantasy magical realism twist to one of them. But Big Bad Wolf by Laurie Gilmore is also out September 8th. Laurie Gilmore obviously is best known for her Dream Harbor series. The only book in that series that I've read is the Pumpkin Spice Bookshop. Or was that? Or is it the Pumpkin Spice Cafe? I honestly barely remember that book. I read it very quickly. I read it mostly in one sitting. I did enjoy it. It was very fluffy, very cozy, and the content wasn't, I don't think it's something that really sticks with you so much. And so I am intrigued by this one. Obviously, this is a paranormal romance with a werewolf, and I love werewolves. Oh, the lead, the romantic interest's name is Rafe. I like that one. I like that name. I think that sounds really interesting. Oh, he's a woodsman, but I think he's also a werewolf is the idea of this. Obviously, it's called Big Bad Wolf. But I think that one sounds like it could be everything that I want it to be. So I have high hopes. I don't know. I don't remember if there was spice in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I don't know if there will be spice in Big Bad Wolf. I do have the arc for this, and I do plan on reading it. So I will get to that, hopefully, if not September, then October. September 15th also has quite a few books coming out. Quite a lot of books, actually. I think this is the big day for September. Starting with Alex Stern, number 3. If I can do my number 3s, why was I doing 2? I'm like throwing peace signs, like... Book number 3, Deadbeat. I'm so excited for it. Obviously, I have Ninth House and I have the sequel, so I'm looking forward to adding the third one on my shelf here. I love these books so much. If you haven't read Alex Stern, highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. I will be picking up both the hardcover and the audiobook because the audiobook is actually how I got into the series in the first place. I listened to a sample of Ninth House and it sounded really good, and it was on sale at the time for, I think it was the $5 one because it was like right before the sequel was coming out. And so I picked it up on sale, devoured it. I mean, I finished it in a day and a half. I was all over this audiobook. And then the next day was when, or not the very next day, sorry, the next week is when the sequel came out, and I immediately bought that full price. And I devoured that, and I've been waiting for the third one now ever since. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm like shaking in anticipation for that one. That's one of my most anticipated books of the year. I'm so excited for that one. Next up is In These Gilded Ghostly Hearts by Gwendolyn Kiste. I think that's how you say her name. It's a dark queer mirror to The Great Gatsby is how it's described. So it's set in the 50s, and it follows Daisy's daughter Mel, and it has her going back to the island and back to the Buchanan's house and to Gatsby's house and interacting with their ghosts in some way. I think it just really intrigued me. I always really liked The Great Gatsby. I think it's a really interesting story. I love the themes in it, the visuals. It's such a thematically visual novel. And so that's why I also love Baz Luhrmann's adaptation of The Great Gatsby, because he really captured the visuals of that novel so well. And it just felt like it just felt like The Great Gatsby. And so I think I'm going to rewatch that film and then read this book. And I think that'll be a really cool experience. Next up is Blood and Bells by C.J. Holmes and Michael Ashwood, which is another paranormal romance. Another one, this time with vampires instead of werewolves. I think this one just looks really cute. It is a Christmas set one, so even though it's coming out September 15th, I think I'm going to save this. And Blood and Bells makes me think that there's something with magic, or with magic, with a wedding as well. I mean, fingers crossed. And I can throw this into November to read with Kiste replay for wedding stories, which I'm not typically in the mood for wedding stories, but because I'm not into weddings or anything, but I like the idea of these wedding books. I think they sound really interesting. Well, even if Blood and Bells is a wedding book, I don't know. Also, September 15th is Bodies of Magic by Freya Marske, which is billed as Grey's Anatomy meets a deadly education in this dark academia fantasy. This one just sounds kind of dark. It's reminding me a bit of the Alex Stern books, and I just always want more Alex Stern. And so I know after I finish reading the third book that I will want more of the same or more of similar, and Bodies of Magic strikes me as that, as something to fill that that itch that I know I'm going to have after reading Alex Stern book 3. And then, oh my gosh, having read Pot Shop by Laura Piper Leigh recently, it's right up here. She has a new book coming out called Doomsdate, and I'm really excited about this one. I will be picking it up day 1. It's essentially a zombie rom-com, and I love the idea of that. It's set at, the opening of a zombie apocalypse, and this girl's going on a date. I think it sounds like it could be crazy and a really good time, so I'm looking forward to that one. And then another book that I'm so excited for, and that I do have the ARC for as well, and I will be reading, is Grim Tidings by B.K. Borison. I read the first book last year that I absolutely loved, which was Good Spirits. This is part of her Ghosted series. I don't know exactly how it's going to tie into Good Spirits, if it will. I think it's more, so in Good Spirits, the love interest is a ghost who works for, he's a ghost of Christmas past, and he works for an agency, essentially, that holds a bunch of these ghosts for these reasons. And they did speak to the fact that there are other agencies like Death, for example. So there's the Grim Reapers agency. And it looks like that's what this book, Grim Tidings, is taking place at, or in, or with. I don't know how to say that. But the main character, Darcy, is a Grim Reaper, and I think her love interest is an angel in this story, which I think sounds super cute in my opinion. I just really like B.K. Borison's writing. I've literally only read Good Spirits, except that I do have her other books. I've got the Heartstrings books right here. I won one and I bought the other with the thought that I'm going to enjoy it, so I may as well. And I do want to read, I know the third one of those is coming out in February, so I think I'm going to read these first 2 in January and have them read in time for the third book. But this Good Spirits, Good Spirits, that's the one that I read. Grim Tidings, I think looks super cute, and I love this world with the ghostly afterlife and magical agencies. It's so cute, and I love the magic in this world. September 17th only has one book coming out, and I find it weird that it's coming out on the 17th, because that's I think it's a Wednesday, and books usually come out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, I believe. Anyway, September 17th, this is according to Goodreads, that's where I got all my book release dates from. Be Still My Unbeating Heart by Josh Winning. I have read one Josh Winning book, and it was, I think it was called Heads Will Roll or something like that, and it's a slasher, summer camp slasher. So when I saw he had a new one coming out, because I liked that book well enough, I liked it enough that I would pick up another book by him, and so I saw he had this one coming out, and I was kind of confused because this one looks like a romance, but it sounds really interesting. So, a cozy vampire vacation mystery set in a seaside Italian village featuring a reformed vampire, his magical talking cat, and a handsome brooding detective. So yeah, it's like it's another paranormal romance. Like I said, I like them. So I feel like I need to read that one. Just because I really liked Josh Winning's first book that I read. And this one I think sounds so cute. And I really enjoyed the cover for it as well. I think the cover is adorable. I'm just going to skip back into I'm going to skip to September 22nd, sorry, because that's the only book for September 17th. So September 22nd, there's a couple more books coming out, starting with Incarnate by Alma Katsu. This one is one that I'm kind of iffy on because I have never really read Alma Katsu. I've read pieces and parts, and sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't, and I don't have an arc for this, so I can't say necessarily whether this leans towards her writing that I do like or her writing that I don't like. But this is a terrifying reimagining of the picture of Dorian Gray for the internet age. Beauty doesn't fade, it feeds. I love the picture of Dorian Gray, so that's why I put this one on my list, even though I'm kind of iffy on Alma Katsu and whether I'll like her stories, which is why I've not picked up an Alma Katsu book. But this one, if I were to pick one up, I think it would be this one. This one sounds so intriguing. An illuminating, haunting tale of algorithmic worship and beauty that can kill. It reminds me a little bit of Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep by Paul Tremblay as well. It has that sort of tech horror vibe to it. So maybe it'll be like an episode of Black Mirror like that one was. Well, I mean, it wasn't an episode. It'll feel like an episode of Black Mirror, which is a show that I do still enjoy. I mean, again, that one's kind of hit or miss. If we're talking like great horror anthology TV shows, Love, Death, and Robots, which isn't even all horror. It's like fantasy, sometimes romance, sometimes just sci-fi. That's a great show, by the way. Getting off topic here. Next up is Our Cut of Salt by Deena Helm, also out September 22nd. I'm just going to read the first paragraph of this one because that's what sold me on it. In this lyrical debut, 3 generations of Palestinian women must put the haunting of their ancestral home to rest before the secrets of the past drown them all. Our Cut of Salt is a powerful and intimate look at what it means to make a home, to lose it, and to return, only to find it irrevocably changed. Totally intrigued by that. I love a haunted house story. It's going to be hard for this to be a bad one for me because I just am really drawn to those sorts of tales, and a ghost story is one of my favorite type of horror stories. So I think this one will be really interesting. Then there's Traps and Specters by Philip Fracassi, who I read the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi, that I really enjoyed that one, that had a really unusual final girl in that she was, like in her 70s or maybe her late 60s. I can't remember exactly how old she is. She's a senior citizen though. And she was a final girl, and she was a badass final girl. And that story was so much fun. It's the only Philip Fracassi I've read so far, but this Traps and Specters is going to be a collection of short stories, and I love anthologies. I love horror anthologies, to be specific. So I'm really excited about this collection and looking into his writing a bit more because I just enjoyed that Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre so much. That was a big surprise of mine last year. So I really liked that one, and I'm really looking forward to this collection and seeing if he holds up. Finally, last but not least, September 29th, the last book release day of the month. And there are 3 books that I have for this one. First up is Something Followed Us Home, edited by Cynthia Pelayo. This is a collection, again, of short stories. I love this sort of thing, and this is a themed collection as well, which is another of my favorites. So I'm just going to read the end here where it talks about some of the contributors. So Something Followed Us Home is a landmark anthology of Latin horror. These stories remind us that the past is never gone, the dead are never silent, and the places we come from will always find their way back to us. Featuring stories by Agustina Basterica, Cynthia Pelayo, Isabel Cañas, Zoraida Cordova, Mariana Enriquez is in this, Xochitl Gonzalez, Leopoldo Goat, I so sorry, I butchered that name, Juan Martinez, Lilian Rivera I've read from before, Alex Segura I've read from before. This is such an intriguing bunch of authors for this, so I'm really interested in picking this up. I'll probably pick this up the day it releases and try to read it right away. Then there's Newborn Park by Jennifer Marie Thorne. This is, I think everybody's talking about this one. It's billed as Saltburn with werewolves. I do have the ARC for this one as well, and I am really looking forward to reading it. I think I might save it for October, though, because it feels like an October-y book. Although it does, Saltburn was kind of autumnal, so maybe I will try and read it in September. Like I said, I have the ARC. I could start reading it now. Obviously, I'm busy right now, but I could read it at the start of September. And then finally, we have The Ship of Death by Kyle Winkler, which is billed as horror movie meets the Blair Witch Project in this supernatural chokehold of a book told entirely through found documents. That's what intrigues me about this, because it's reminding me of Craig DeLuise' episode 13, which is a lot of found documents. And I really enjoyed how that story came together. I love mixed media stories, and that's what this sounds like it'll be, which is so intriguing to me. But I want to give this a chance. I am a little torn. I do like the Blair Witch Project horror movie. I'm assuming they're talking about a horror movie by Paul Tremblay, which I've not read. But maybe I should look into that one to see what they mean by that, because I don't know. But I am looking forward to reading this one. I don't know that I'll get around to it this year. It's one that I do want to check out, though. I'll probably pick that up digitally as an ebook, and then see if that's one that I want to pick up as a book for my shelves. But that is, I think that's everything in September. There's so many books coming out in September, and there are so many books coming out in October as well. And then I'll do a mixed November-December video, because that one, I think I'll just be really busy during the holiday season and not be able to film as much. But we'll see. We'll see what's coming up and how that will all shake out. Anyway, thank you so much. If you stayed to the end, I very much appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking more books with you in the future. Bye.